City boy, city boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Nick the Great, back with another video. And you know we gotta go ahead and do a Monday Night Raw review. So, is it just me? Or has Roman Reigns been getting his ass whooped nonstop ever since he lost his title to Cody at WrestleMania 40? Is it just me? Like, I could swear, I've seen Roman Reigns get his ass whooped more time. Like, Roman Reigns gets his ass whooped, and he's only like he gets his ass whooped more than he has matches, and this is kind of crazy. He's had like 3 matches since he lost to Cody. He's had like 3 matches, and he's gotten his ass whooped like 15 times, right? Like, he's got he only ever leaves, like, he left for like fucking 3-4 months after Cody Rhodes beat him at WrestleMania, comes back, helps Cody win against Solo, and I think he goes into a tag team match with Solo, where I don't remember. I believe it was. Did Roman take the pin or did Cody take the? I'm pretty sure Cody took the pin. I think that's what the story was. That Cody took the pin. But after that, after Cody took the pin, which basically Roman lost, right? He took that first L, right? After that War Games match that they came up with for Roman and Solo and the whole bloodline and all that extra. After that whole War Games thing that he won, he hasn't won anything since. So he had that match against Cody, that match against Solo, or that match against Solo and the Bloodline. He had the match against Solo at fucking the Monday Night Raw debut. Then he's had the match at WrestleMania. Those were his 4 matches ever since he's come back. Ever since he got beat by Cody Rhodes, which was an L. We got to count that L, right? Ever since he got beat by Cody Rhodes, he's had 4 matches, and he has lost all of them, 3 out of 4 of them. And we're supposed to take this guy as a credible opponent now. All he's done is lose over the past year, and he's supposed to be a credible opponent against Braun Breaker. I get we're supposed to build Braun Breaker up, but you have to have Roman Reigns be built up. Roman Reigns is no longer built up. Roman Reigns lives off of his quote unquote aura. You know what I'm saying? Roman Reigns lives off of that. Anybody watching him at home at this point is that you can't see Roman Reigns the same way that you saw him a couple years ago, because all you've seen him do is take L's. All he's done is take pins, right? In the match with Seth Rollins and CM Punk, he could have not taken the pin. Like, if he was going to take the L, he could have at least not taken the pin, but he took the pin from Seth Rollins, who supposedly has all this beef with CM Punk. He didn't even care about pinning CM Punk. He just pinned Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns had to take the L. So, Roman Reigns is in that. He's in the doghouse, or he has to be. He has to be in the doghouse. I think that's what it is, man, because he's lost half his matches since coming back, right? He is 50-50. He is a 50-50 guy, right? So I had to start off by talking about that, because there's no way, man. You know what I mean? Like, how are we supposed to take this guy seriously at this point? And why is there no storyline here? They had like a little bit of interaction last week, but these guys are about to have a match at Saturday Night Main Event. Like, if they were about to have a match on Monday Night Raw after they just had their little confrontation, then that would be one thing, right? That would be one thing. Obviously, that would be great, because that means Roman Reigns is wrestling on free TV, or not free TV, it's Netflix, but you know what I mean. So not only would that be, awesome, but also, on top of being awesome, it would make sense, right? It would at least be some kind of more of a confrontation. Then you can actually build something. You can still protect them in this match, you know, having Bronson Reed interfere or whatever, and whatever. Make do what you have to make do. But at least it's happening on Monday, and we're building something to this SummerSlam instead of this. What we get every single, like, it's a save every single week. Somebody in the main event is about to get jumped, and then somebody miraculously, whether it's Jey Uso coming out to save Cody or save Sammy or save one of his homies, or it's Roman Reigns coming out to save Jey Uso, or it's Cody Rhodes coming out to save Jey Uso. It's usually some collection of Jey Uso saving or Jey Uso getting saved, or it's something like that always usually going to happen in the main event or whatever match they're in. It always happens. You get saved by whoever, and it's for the pop. Just get a big, huge pop. Here comes Roman Reigns. He's about to lay waste to everybody. Oh, nope. Roman Reigns on his ass once again, looking up at the lights, getting his ass whooped. Uh-oh. There we go. Had to talk about that starting off, man. But how are you guys doing? Let me back up. How are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? How are you guys doing? I had to start off with this rant, you know what I mean? But you know how it is, man. This show, man. This show, man. Week after week. This show. Ah, man. It really takes a lot out of me, man. So the reason why this video is coming very late and in the morning is because I fell asleep during this show. During the match between Jey Uso and Bronson Reed, like right before it started, I fell the fuck asleep. I fell right to sleep, and I didn't wake up. I didn't. Okay, so it is what it is. I had to watch that thing back so I could get this to you, right? But that's how bad this show was, man. I'm sitting here and I'm watching this shit and I'm bored out of my mind. There's nothing happening, right? A bunch of random ass shit. Just retarded ass shit. So I won't say that things are happening for no reason. Like, it was obvious that they were trying to build to SummerSlam. But the way that Triple H goes about it, right? The way that Triple H has gone about building to SummerSlam is by having all these there was a 8-woman tag match tonight, bro. 8-woman tag match between Rhea Ripley. So on one team, you have Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Nikki Bella, and Stephanie Vaquer versus Naomi and the Secret Service. Why? Why is this happening? And it just happens out of nowhere. There's no build up. There's no lead into it. Naomi had like a promo earlier in the evening before that, where she kind of mentioned it a little bit, where she talks about being aggressive, and Rhea Ripley and Io Sky are passive aggressive, and that's fine. But there was nothing else. There was no reason. Like, they didn't go to Adam Pearce. They didn't go to Adam Pearce to get this match made. It just was a match on the card for some reason. Like, this is how Triple H is going to build up excitement, I guess, to the match with Naomi and Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, and also the subsequent match after Naomi wins, because she's going to win this match. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, they're going to take each other out, and Naomi's going to, do her thing and take advantage of that. Mark my motherfucking words. But her subsequent match with Stephanie Vaquer at Clash of Paris. This is how Triple H is going about it. Just throw them all out there. Have Naomi go with the Secret Service, which is a SmackDown unit, right? That's a SmackDown faction. We're going to bring that SmackDown faction over here to team up with Naomi on Raw, so that way she can go, like, for what reason exactly? No reason for real. We're just going to have it happen. Stephanie's kind of has some issues with the Secret Service, right? So, it makes sense. Like, what in the hell, man? Like, you can't tell me that Triple H gives a shit. You can't tell me. You can't tell me that he cares at all about building up to SummerSlam. SummerSlam isn't it this weekend or isn't it this weekend? I'm pretty sure it's this weekend, bro. Like, SummerSlam is, and there's no hype. This is how he builds up hype. This was the go home show now that I'm thinking about it. And the way that you build up hype for your triple threat women's match for the world championship. The women's world championship. The way that you build it up is how Triple H, I'm going to have them in an 8-woman tag match with a couple of people that have nothing to do with their situation, nothing to do with their beef at all, right? I'm not going to have them cut a promo on each other, even though we've seen that 1,000 times, and I'm sick of that. I'm not going to have them have a backstage segment together where they have some kind of issue, where something happens, you know what I mean? Somebody disrespects somebody in some way. Somebody takes somebody's lunch money. Somebody eats somebody's bagels. I don't know. Something. Somebody steals somebody's orange juice. Somebody... I don't know. Give me something. I'm just giving out like the most small, tiniest shit. Just give me something. Something that they can beef over a little bit tonight. And then maybe you can have this 8-woman tag match. Just make it make sense. Right? Make it make sense. But we can't even have shit make sense. Shit's just happening for no reason. Like, we had a match between a fucking Dominic Mysterio and Roxanne and Raquel versus AJ Styles and the Kabukis. What is this match happening for? And it just happened for no reason. If I missed something last week, let me know down in the comments. Let me know down in the comments if I missed something last week, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. I'm pretty sure I watched that show all the way through. I'm pretty sure I didn't fall asleep on that show. Okay? Like, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty fucking sure. So, why is this match happening again? What is the Judgment Day? What is Roxanne and Raquel? Like, what's their beef with the Kabukis? Outside of the fact that, you know what I mean, the Kabukis obviously are wanting to go for the tag team championships at some point, I guess. But there's been nothing. There's been no, as far as I could tell. Like, I looked back in my notes and shit trying to figure out, like, why are the Kabukis tripping on Roxanne and Raquel? Like, why is this a match? Why are we seeing AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio happen before it happens? This is supposed to be a match that we're building up to, but you already gave us a little sample of it. Seeing the full match, like, I've already seen Dom take the pin. So what? AJ's gonna take the pin, do some bullshit interference, which is most likely gonna happen, right? AJ Styles, like, I hope AJ Styles win, but him getting the pin on Dom in this instance, it just makes me feel like he's going to lose on Saturday or on Sunday, whichever fucking one it is. I don't know, because this is the first 2 nights SummerSlam, so I still got to get used to that shit. So I want AJ Styles to win, but they had him like they had AJ Styles like hype, like the way AJ Styles won tonight. Like, it just makes me feel like they're going to make him lose the Intercontinental Championship match this weekend. So there was that. Some more shit happened. There's like an interview with Sheamus where he's talking about how his match with Rusev was a classic banger. It was a classic banger. And then Grayson Waller and the New Day came up. Grayson Waller's talking all this shit to Sheamus. Didn't we just see this match? Right? They're about to set up a match right now, right? Because Grayson Waller's talking all this shit to Sheamus. It's like, yeah, we're not scared of you. He's talking about him in the New Day. We're not scared of you. We're not scared of you. Turns around, the New Day's gone. And he just set himself up a match with Sheamus for some reason. Like, what is this, man? Like, I'm so confused. Why did Grayson Waller drop his tag team partner, where at least he was on some kind of equal footing with, to be a third man to the New Day? Of all the tag teams that he could, try to add himself on to, attach himself to, if that's what he wanted to do, if he was trying to build another faction. Why the New Day? Why? Why? I'm genuinely confused here. And it hasn't been explained, right? All he does is just glaze the New Day for no reason. He just comes up, he glazes the New Day, and that's all he's been doing. He's been running behind the New Day for the last few weeks, right? Past couple months now. He's just been running behind the New Day. And there's been no explanation given to this shit. And he just gets himself into a match with Sheamus. But I don't care about this match, because we've already seen this match. I made sure of it. We've seen this match this match happened a couple of months ago. Like at least a month or two ago. Where Sheamus just pretty much squashed Grayson Waller. Or they had a competitive match. Because that's always how it happens, right? But in this match, Sheamus won. Obviously, Rusev came out afterwards and then just beat him down, right? Does the brutal beatdown. All the refs and all the suits had to come out to stop him from putting that accolade on Sheamus. Who cares? All right, let's move on. Naomi had an interview after that. Naomi had an interview after that where she calls Rhea Ripley and Io Sky and everybody in the match tonight fakes and phonies. You know what I'm saying? She says she doesn't care about Rhea, and Io said that, you know, they're both passive aggressive, but I'm aggressive, and you're gonna see that tonight in my match. All right. So I thought this was a pretty good interview that she did. All right. I just wish that they had something to give her. Because they're like, just go over there, have this interview where she's going to ask you the same question that everybody asks. This is your current situation. How do you feel about it? You know what I mean? Like that's the interview. and then they just give like they have to give some kind of chopped up answer. And there's no actual story behind anything that's going on with them. So it's just like, all right, well, I guess I got to talk about me. I guess I got to talk about what I'm going to do in my match. Like there is no story, right? There is no story with Rhea Ripley, Naomi, and Io Sky. Not even a little bit, right? I mean, Naomi cashed in on Rhea and Io, so they want a rematch, and that's the story, I guess. But that's not a story, right? That's not a story. Something happened, and then they wanted something, and then this happened, and now there's the match. That's it. That's basically how this happened. That's not how you tell a story. But here we are. And Naomi's cutting this pretty decent interview, but I just know that she would actually have a much better interview. I know it would be so much better, even though it was already pretty good, if she had something to go off of, if she had something to actually say, if she had a storyline that she could actually riff off of. But she doesn't, so here we are, and let's move on. Lyra comes out, or no, first before the Lyra promo, we got to get to the Lyra promo. I forgot all about this shit. Oh, man. First is Heyman and the boys backstage. I don't know what to call them, right? I can't call them Seth Rollins and the boys anymore, because now Seth Rollins isn't there. Now it's Heyman and the boys. But it seems like Braun Breaker is taking some leadership here. All right, so Heyman and the boys, they're backstage. You know, Paul Heyman, he's like hyping up Bronson Reed. He's like, yeah, you know what I mean? I heard Jey Uso. Because in the first segment, I forgot to talk about this, because Jey Uso comes out in the first segment, he yeets, and he yeets, and he yeets, and he yeets, and he does that shit, and then Heyman comes out, interrupts, talks all this shit about, you know, what everything that Jey can do without Roman, how good Jey can do without Roman, how Roman doesn't care about Jey. You know, the same old shit. Jey Uso cuts the same shit promo about, you know, oh, it's my family, oos. I'll do anything for my family, oos. I slide for my family, oos. All right, and we gonna run this shit back. All right, that's what he said. And then they yeeted again, right? So Jey Uso says, yeah, you know, he says he's always stepping behind his family. He says his family's always stepping behind him. And then Braun Breaker comes up and he says some shit to Bronson Reed, where he's saying, you're going to beat Jey Uso tonight. You're going to crush Jey Uso tonight. And anybody who comes out there is going to get crushed too. The basic shit, right? And then Bronson Reed, with his zero personality, he's like, anyone who comes out is going to get tsunami'd. And then he leaves. Like, this shit was just pure retardation. But then Braun Breaker says he has a plan to Paul Heyman, right? So then after that, we got to get to the Lyra Valkyria promo. Triple H, never give Lyra Valkyria a microphone again. Let me tell you something. Lyra Valkyria I think they were in Detroit. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure they were in Detroit. Lyra Valkyria cut probably the worst promo that I've ever heard in my life. Okay? She came out, she does like a stupid little dance, talking about these shoes right here. These are my Becky steppers. I'm like, what is this little bitch doing? She does like this little like kick toe, heel toe dance. I'm like, yo, what is she doing right now, bro? And like, you could tell that she's like super incredibly nervous, and she should be. It's a sold out show. They're in Detroit. Detroit has, they don't have a filter out there in Detroit, so they're gonna let you know how they feel. And the fact that Lyra has not gotten any chances to cut this promo before, because there's no more live shows, right? There's barely any live shows anymore. So she probably hasn't gotten any time to actually really test out this promo on the live crowd. But she has to go out there, first time cutting this promo, and it was absolute garbage. She came out, obviously says the same shit that she's always talking about, how Becky's not a good person, how she feels like she, or some people may say that she's playing into the hands of Becky Lynch, but she knows all of Becky Lynch's moves, she knows all of Becky Lynch, she studied Becky Lynch and all this, and she's going to win, all right? Like, but the way that it all came off, the crowd could not care at all, and I didn't care either. I'm not even gonna lie. All right, I do some nasty things to Miss Lyra, but I could not. I don't care. I don't want to hear her talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather her shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I would rather her shut the fuck up. I would rather she act like a bird lady, right? That's what I would rather. I would rather she never picks up a microphone again. I would rather she be some possessed, fucking Norse god, you know what I'm saying? Some Norse goddess type bird lady who stalks people backstage from her perch on top of the lights or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I would book her. All right. I'd book her in some completely different way than this. I would not have her go out there as the regular girl next door, cutting promos about friendship and betrayal and bullshit like that with Becky Lynch. And then here's the thing. So after she comes and she puts the crowd to sleep, all right, the crowd is giving her the what chance. The crowd is like really giving her the go away heat at this point. Not necessarily booing her because she's still a face, but giving her the wrap it up type, the wrap it up heat, right? So Becky Lynch's music hits in the crowd. Like, it's so funny. I wish I got this shit screenshotted, but there was a lady behind Lyra Valkyria. Like, the crowd was like blurred behind her and shit, but you could see that once Becky Lynch's music hits, she was like, oh my God, thank you. Excuse me, Heavenly Father. She was like, thank you, Jesus, because she was something. Give me something, because this shit has to end now. Becky Lynch's music hits. We're waiting on her to come down the ramp, but she never comes down the ramp. I guess she was waiting outside the ring with the kendo stick. So Lyra Valkyria turns around, sees her waiting there with the kendo stick, and she's like taunting to the crowd with the kendo stick. Lyra Valkyria drop kicks her and starts beating her ass with the kendo stick she started beating the shit out of Becky Lynch with that kendo stick. And after she beats the shit out of Becky Lynch with the kendo stick, like, Becky Lynch just runs away. And the crowd starts to boo. The crowd boos. The crowd boos so fucking hard. Because they're like, what the fuck was that, bro? What was that? Like, why have Lyra Valkyria come out there, cut that awful promo? It was an awful promo. The promo was awful. The worst promo probably I've ever seen. Okay? Why have her do that? Cut the worst promo and then have her go over. Then have her whoop somebody's ass. Like, the crowd, Becky's supposed to be the heel in this situation, but the crowd was so happy to see Becky Lynch. And they were so mad to see that Becky Lynch just got her ass whooped and ran away that they just booed the face. This is how bad Triple H's booking is. He has the faces getting booed and the heels getting cheered. And this happens from time to time because it's hard to get over as a face. But not necessarily, because people want to cheer for people, right? Yeah, you just have to give them a reason to cheer. And this is not a reason to cheer for Lyra Valkyria. Lyra Valkyria sucks on the microphone. She sucks. Well, I won't say she sucks in the ring, but all her matches are 50-50. She barely wins her matches. 90% of her matches are won by roll-up. So it's like, how can you really believe in this girl who comes out there talking all this shit about how much she knows about her opponents when she always just gets roll-up victories, or she gets rolled up? You know what I mean? So, like I said, the audience booed. We move on. Sami Zayn, he had like a little sit-down interview where Karrion Kross came out, interrupted, and was talking all this shit to Sami Zayn about, you know, how he's gotten everybody to break, but he hasn't gotten Sami to break. Sami says all this shit about, you're just wrong, but if you beat me, I'll say whatever you want me to say, because Kross told him that he wanted him to say that Kross told the truth. And he said, if you beat me, I'll say whatever you want me to say, but if I beat you, you're gonna have to say that I was wrong. You're gonna have to say that you were wrong, okay? And I'm like, that's it. That's what this promo was for. So we can set up the stipulation that whoever wins, whoever loses has to say I was right or I was wrong. Okay. This is compelling TV. This is amazing TV right here. Triple H is fucking cooking. All right. The wrist is in motion. He's whipping it up in the kitchen. A crock of shit. So we move on to a little interview that Bayley has where she basically just says, you know, I don't know what I'm doing now. But I'm pretty sure this was just the real Becky or Bayley or whatever. I don't remember what her name is. It's like something Rosa Martinez, or I think that's what it is, Rosa, something like that. The Rosa, this was just Rosa. Or Rosie, whatever her name is, right? This was just her. She's like, look, I don't know what I'm doing at this point. I lost my match at WrestleMania, or I didn't get to go to WrestleMania. I lost my match for SummerSlam. I lost my match for the Intercontinental Championship. So for the first time in my career, I don't know where I'm going next. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea. So and they were like, well, have you ever seen her this lost before? I'm like, so this is going to be a storyline? Bayley is just lost at this point? This is a storyline? Okay. All right. Let's see where it goes. Probably nowhere. We move on to the match between Naomi versus the Hervis, or Naomi and the Secret Hervis versus Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Valkyria, and Bella. I didn't care about this match. Io and them won. I don't remember how. So that's all I remember, though. They won. I just remember them raising their hands at the end of that match. How could I possibly give a fuck about this match? All right, we move on. We get our obligatory Judgment Day segment where, you know, Finn Balor, he's like giving he's giving like a pep talk to the group, like, oh, don't worry about it, we all have gold, we're all good, don't worry about losing tonight. All right. Finn is basically a face at this point, like, but I don't know how, but Finn is getting over with the audience. They have a match with the Judgment, between them and the LWO, right? Obviously. For some reason during this match, though, so first of all, Finn and JD, they're like getting over with the audience, or maybe the audience just does not care about LWO to the point where they were cheering for Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Who knows? It could have been one or the other, but this match was used to further absolutely nothing. This match was used to further the El Grande Americano thing that they have going on. Because obviously the Ludwig El Grande Americano came out and he interrupted the match. But so did another El Grande Americano. It was like a smaller, stockier El Grande Americano. Could have been Chad Gable. Could have been just somebody else. I don't like where we're going with this gimmick already. This shit fucking sucks. It needs to stop. The Judgment Day end up winning off of like a distraction that the shorter, stockier El Grande Americano did on, I think it was Cruz del Toro, and I think it was Finn that got the pin and got the win. After that, we got the promo between Gunther and CM Punk, and this promo was awful. Okay, this I mean, what can I say? Gunther comes out and says that he said that, what did he say? Some bitch said he made the voice of the voiceless speechless, right? He cut a promo on CM Punk, and CM Punk had nothing to say. So that's a win in his book, and this, that, and the other. I'm like, this is the story. Like, this is what we're getting. Then CM Punk comes out, and multiple times in this promo, CM Punk said, as great as you are, you're so great, and obviously with all that you've accomplished and everything. He said that shit to Gunther like 5-6 times in this promo. I counted 4 times. I counted him saying as great as you are 4 times. I counted that 4 times. He said as great as you are. He might have said it more, but he was glazing him the whole entire promo. As good as you are, as great as you are. All right. I am the best in the world. I am the voice of the voiceless. I am the same shit. You know what I'm saying? I need that championship like the Detroit Red Wings need a 12th Stanley Cup. Yeah. I'm like, man, what is this, man? Like, CM Punk is like, he doesn't even cut good promos anymore, man. He comes out there, he just panders to the crowd, and he just says a bunch of nonsense. And obviously there's no storylines. He has no character anymore. He's basically just Phil Brooks at this point, and they just call him CM Punk. But that's all this promo was. It was Gunther coming out there, glazing himself for having CM Punk say nothing to him. And then CM Punk says, oh yeah, you're great. You're a champion. You're amazing. You're awesome. You're beautiful. I love you. This, that, and the other. I respect you. You're amazing. You're great. Says all this shit to Gunther, but I'm still going to win. Because I need the championship. And then after all that nonsense that we just had to go through, we get the match between Jey Uso, Bronson Reed, where, you know, all that shit happens. Match ends in DQ. Roman Reigns came out for the save, ends up not making the save at all, ends up just getting his ass whooped by Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and that is how the show went off the air, okay? This show, once again, ass. For a go-home show, I can appreciate that Triple H got everybody that was on the card on the Raw side. He at least tried to get everybody that's on the card onto the show. The problem is that he gave them nothing. Here are 20 to 15 minute matches that mean absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. All right. Here are that. This is what you get. This is what we're getting as a story. These are not stories that we're getting, man. These are not stories that we're getting. These are just matches that lead to other matches. And that is not a way to run a television company. This is bad television. Like, this is just awful television. This is purely content. There is no emotional stakes to any of these matches at all. Okay? The most emotional thing that we have going on in the entire company at this point is the fact that Hulk Hogan passed away. That's number one. And then number two is a damn storyline where Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair are becoming besties. They're becoming BFFs. This is where we are in the year of our Lord 2025 with Triple H at the helm. All right, with Hunter Hearst Helmsley at the helm of WWE, we have a storyline, one storyline that's being fleshed out pretty much in the entire WWE, and that's of 2 40-year-old women. Well, they're not both 40. I think Charlotte Flair, she's like 30, in her 30s, 40s plus, and then Alexa's like 33, 34, 35 or something like that. She's like 34 or something like that. But these 30-plus-year-old women becoming besties. Like, here's where we are. This is where we are. All the women are buff. All the dudes are skinny or fat or slobs. All right. All the jacked motherfucks, they're all getting jobbed out by skinny, fat, slob jobbers. All right. And Triple H is booking best friend storylines with 40-year-old women, with wine moms. Like, what? That's where we are, man. I gave this show 1.5 out of 10. All right, I gave it a 1.5 out of 10 because at least the tributes that they gave to Hogan were a little longer tonight, and I enjoyed them for what they were. Even though Triple H just came out and cut the same exact promo, there was no actual effort given on Triple H's part here. All the credit goes to the production team. So let me know what y'all thought down in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you want to hear some more. And this has been your boy, Nate the Great, back with another video. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.